Jake here for American Trucks, and in this video we're taking a look at the Scaredy-Cat catalytic converter anti-theft device and skid plate fitting 2015 and newer F-150s excluding Power Boost and Raptor models. Now, added protection is the name of the game here, and if you're looking to keep your truck's catalytic converters away from prying eyes and hands, this is a great way to do it with as little fuss as possible on your end. Not only that, it also doubles as an extended skid plate to keep the undercarriage of your truck protected when you're off-roading as well. It's hardly a secret that catalytic converter theft has been on the rise in recent years, and converters are expensive, especially on newer vehicles. So taking some extra steps to protect your truck is worth it. Enter this anti-theft cover and skid plate from Scaredy-Cat. Now, this thing is pretty hefty and it covers an otherwise unprotected area underneath of your truck. It's going to work for you whether you're running your factory engine tray or an aftermarket skid plate up front, and it affords your truck additional protection in a critical area, right underneath your transmission, transfer case, exhaust, and most critically, the catalytic converters. Now, as you can see, this is pretty large and it's going to stretch the width of your frame rails, and it covers all those components. So not only will the catalytic converter be made less accessible to would-be thieves, but you'll get an additional level of protection against debris and damage when you're off-roading as well. Plus, it's just something that looks a little cool. Now, this does wrap up around part of the frame rails as well too, so it gives you some added protection on the sides in addition to what comes underneath. The plate itself is made from pretty thick steel, and as you can see, it's all one piece. So there's no seams or welds or anything like that. Now, this is finished off in a pretty neat looking black coating to help protect against rust and corrosion as well. So this can certainly take a hit. And given how hefty it is, it will take a nice beating, and it should be plenty resistant to most anything you can throw at it. Now, this is going to be pretty hard to get through too, even with an angle grinder. Though it's not too thick, it's going to be plenty of deterrent to keep your truck safe and intact. Pricing comes in at about $400, putting it right in the middle of the market as far as skid plates go. Now, this is certainly a lot cheaper than a factory catalytic converter as well. So if you look at it that way, you're going to save yourself quite a bit of money and headache in the long run. So for that, I'd call this one a pretty darn good value. Installation is going to get a 1 out of 3, and it should only take you about an hour to get this installed. Now, no modifications are needed to the plate or to your truck, and everything you need comes right in the box, even some nice rubber spacers and a bit for the included bolts. So everything you need is here and ready to go to attach it. So it's a very straightforward process. In fact, about the hardest part is probably going to be getting this lifted up and into place. With that though, let's hand things over to one of our AT customers who's going to walk you through the process.
All right, so a quick overview of what we just did. We replaced the factory felt skid plate over the catalytic converter, and we replaced it with the steel one from American Trucks. And we had to remove the brackets that were holding up, the bolts that were holding up the felt. You can see where this is mine, where mine tore. And that I used a 5/16. You can either use nut driver, you can use open end, which we had on hand as well. Also had sockets, and then on the bracket that was holding it up, which had these 1/2-inch nuts on it. That was the bracket right here, mounted onto the side of the frame. You want to remove that so you can get the steel skid plate up. We used our impact to remove that. We loosened the factory ones. Once you pull down that whole felt, the 4 bolts and then the 2 brackets, so that's 6 bolts total. Just forward, about 3 to 4 inches forward, there's 2 more bolts that are going to be a 15 millimeter. You want to loosen those up with the impact, and then you can slide that new steel skid plate in, tighten it up, and then you'll put on the back ones with that right there that came with it. That's that safety bit. So this is just to show you guys, this is what came with the kit for the front, and this is similar to your factory one, so it's quite a bit longer. So that hit the frame. Again, that's on the 2020 F-150, so depending on what you're putting it on, whether it's an Expedition or something else, it may work, may not, I doubt it, but just use the factory ones for the front, then the shorter ones that they provided for the back worked great. So, all right, well today we're gonna install a catalytic converter skid plate cover slash anti-theft device. As you know, they come OEM with like a felt skid plate cover, which is pointless. And as I'm sure many of yours have done, mine has torn. So we're gonna replace it today with the metal one, the steel one, and we'll show you different pictures. We will crawl underneath and get the best angles I absolutely can. So let's go for it. All right, so we are under here now. You've got two 5/16 bolts up here, two back here. You can see where it's torn and hanging. This one's about to tear as well. We will have to take off this bracket as well, which will be the 1/2 inch. So let's get started. I'm using the nut driver just for reach. We don't have a whole lot of room to work under here, but should be fine. So there's the back ones. Back ones are out. Now let's see. That one's almost out. There we go. One last one. So there you go, that's the felt skid plate dropped off. Now we're gonna take this bracket off. See if I can slide over and get that other side. There we go. So that's it. Old one's down. We'll get the new one under here and show you how to get that up and installed on there. Okay, so one thing you're gonna have to do is this clip that was on the bracket, the back of the bracket, you're gonna have to get a flathead and pop that off to use for the front two bolts of the new one. And there you go, that's it. So you'll need that bracket, you can see it, for the bolt for the very front of the new skid plate. All right, we're back under here. I'm gonna put the new one up, we'll see how it goes. See these slots in the frame? This bracket that came with it, we're gonna slide that up in there with the female facing down. That way we can get our bolt onto there. We'll do that for the other side. Then we are going to take our front one, which is the safety head on it. It's a shorter bolt. Two sets of bolts come with it. You get a longer one and a shorter one. So you can see the difference there. Longer, shorter. We're gonna put the lock washer, the normal washer. That'll be on the bottom side of the skid plate with the rubber rubber washer between the skid plate and the frame. It's going to be up front. We've got to take that bracket, that little bracket nut off the bracket that we took, and we're going to put it right here with the nut on the back side. Go ahead and start this because this skid plate slides in. Put a little bit of Loctite on there first. We got a little bit of Loctite on there. Get it started by hand. We'll grab the other one, do the other side. And then I'm gonna get under and slide the front end in first. So there's two slots. You have to put it in there. Or you may have to, depending on your fitting, you may have to put it in the actual holes that it has for them. Looks like on this 2020 F-150, I'm gonna have to put them in the actual holes. Alright, well, this is longer than I thought, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of adjustment. Alright, so like I said, 15 millimeter on these, got them loosened. Then I'm gonna start the new bolt. See if we can get the skid plate slid up in there. Let's actually do one side then the other. We'll just hand tighten it. Put the rubber in between the skid plate and the factory piece. Okay, we're hand tight on the front, so then we can go to the back now. Alright, so we'll leave it a little loose just to come back once we get everything squared away. Do this last corner, and then we'll tighten everything up and we'll be done. So again, short bolt, lock washer, rubber, sorry, we're having to move the camera a little bit. It's a little tight under here. Don't really have great angles to work with. Again, I'm using the 5/16 nut driver to hold the bit that came with the skid plate. Okay. Then all we have left is to tighten this factory bolt. Let me go get on the other side. All right. We're gonna put this factory bolt back in place. We're gonna tighten both of these. Brought my open end. 15 millimeter again. In case I didn't say it enough. Gotta make sure this is all tight. Okay. We will. Excuse me, I dropped a tool. All right, so we're just gonna tighten these backs up one more time and we will be done pretty quick, about 30 minutes. Especially when you figure out which bolts fit your setup. So that's it.
That's gonna wrap it up here for our review and install of the ScarityCat catalytic converter anti-theft device and skid plate fitting 2015 to 2023 F-150s, excluding Power Boost and Raptor models. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, for all things F-150, be sure to keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.